What's up, everybody? It's Friday. It's Friday. What's up? It's me, Erica, and we are coming down here to talk about whatever comes up on the feed, honey. Because we don't have anything to talk about. So we'll get... somebody is in my parking space. Somebody's in my parking space, y'all. They did that on purpose. Why are y'all in my parking space? I do not like for people to park next to me. I know y'all thinking like, girl, you do not have a parking space at the park. I know y'all probably say that, girl. Where is your parking space, girl? It is not. So what's going on? I was just listening to the Pink Pill, and she was talking about, the trope, the strong black woman, and how it's detrimental to our survival. And how, how black women are demonized for expressing emotion. And people do that. You know why people do that? People demonize people for expressing emotion because they want to be able to continue to abuse you. And so when you start screaming out against that, now you're bitter. Now you're all these negative things. So that kind of makes you feel like, oh my God, I shouldn't express myself because the people are going to think I'm bitter and miserable. Oh my God. So now you're forced to not express those emotions because you've been demonized for them, and now you have to endure this abuse when in a real normal world, when you're experiencing or enduring pain, you get to express that. And when you're demonized for expressing that, some people tend to retreat. And the ones who don't retreat get called a bitter, big mouth. Yes! All of that. Bitter, big mouth. You know what I'm saying? But, but we're ladies. Y'all, so what's going on? Yeah, so that's what I was watching. I didn't bring my water. Dang. Played myself. I left it. I got to get another copper water container or canister or whatever. My other one bent. It fell and bent. And I didn't want it to be bent. So I'm gonna buy another one. If you do not know, copper is really good. Store your water in it overnight. Drink it in the morning. It has amazing properties. Go look it up. Amazing properties for water, keeping your water in a copper receptacle overnight. Let me tell you some benefits to it. I'll tell you. It alkalines your water. One, that's the main thing. Okay. Did I say that right? It alkalines. There's only other way I can think of it. But okay, so hold on, let me tell you what the benefits are, girl, so you can go get you a copper water bottle. Okay, prevents waterborne diseases, aids in weight loss, promotes healthy skin. Even though I'm having some issues going on right now. Right there. Boosts heart health, keeps digestive system healthy, slows down aging, even though, honey, the melanin does that, baby. Anemia, and fights inflammation, which is really good. So yeah, store your water in a copper receptacle for, overnight, and drink it in the morning, room temperature. I like to put mine in the windowsill only because it keeps it I like my stuff to be cold. I know, you want to really drink warm water first thing in the morning, but sometimes the cold just tastes so good. You know what I mean? But anyways, let me turn my car off, girl. Okay, so yeah, so she was talking about that, how, the trope strong black woman kind of, leaves us detrimental to our survival because people believe that because you are strong that you can endure pain. People believe because you are strong that you can take on other people's problems. People think because now you're left to protect yourself, you'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I've always thought that early on. I think I probably have referred to myself as a strong black woman, but I think early on I realized I'm like, if I'm so strong, that means that I can endure pain. So that means that a person will inflict pain upon me and nobody will come to my aid. Nobody will come help me because you're a strong black woman. You can endure it. Your mom did it. Your grandmother did it. Her mother did it. You know what I'm saying? And so it just leaves you to have to defend yourself, and then also be that, well, everybody wants to come to you with their problems and you're expected to, resolve them, mammy. And or now you are saying that your pain is being ignored, and that goes to speak to the childbirth mortality rates. You know what I'm saying? All of these things, proclaiming that you're this strong person, and so that when you do finally cry about something, now you're weak, or now other people become angry. What you crying for? Like, it's funny because we make fun of white women for crying on cue, because we talk about, like, white women can cry, baby, and their tears, baby, when they start crying, honey, everybody wants to figure out what can we do to her, to help her, to protect her. But when a black woman cries, it's like, you need to be stronger than that. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You weak. You a weak ass. All of this stuff. And you're like, dang, well, when Trudy cried, all of y'all ran over there to see what she was crying about. But when I cried, it was like, girl, you'll be all right. You strong. You know what I'm saying? So it does go, it's a detriment too. So you kind of have to steer away from proclaiming yourself as a strong black woman, and also seeing your emotions as weak. Seeing your emotions as weak, allowing people to tell you that your emotions are a sign of weakness, that's not something. All of our emotions are universally provided, and so that all of them within balance, right? And that's why people, when you finally see a person who has repressed their emotions and suppressed their emotions, when they finally actually express them, and in men and women, it looks violent. It looks violent. It can cause people harm. That's why it's so important for men not to be stigmatized, when not the idea of going to therapy, not to be stigmatized for men. Because I was going back and forth with Craig yesterday about this thing with Boosie and his sons, and how you're thinking to yourself, and I posted it on IG, can you imagine being in a relationship with a man and without even your knowledge or understanding that he was raped at 12 and 13 years old, and you're trying to figure out why he's not really intimate with you. You're trying to figure out why you can't really have this healthy relationship, because you have somebody who was forced at 12 and 13 to become a man, and because of that, they are stunted in that emotional intelligence, and stunted in how they deal and relate with women, in not even in a sexual way, but just how to relate to women, because somebody violated you so early and you were told that this was something that was okay. And so you're dealing with this person as an adult, not knowing this. You ask a man, you ask men, and I've heard so many men say that their first sexual experience was with a older woman, and how they liked it, or they saw it as a rite of passage. I'm a man now. But unbeknownst to them, your emotional intelligence, it's stunted right there. Right there. The way that you relate to women, stunted right there. And then you grow up, and now you're trying to have healthy relationships with people who don't know that this happened to you. And you're not saying that it happened to you in a way, because you're not seeing it as, oh, this is my first traumatic experience dealing with sex. This was a traumatic experience, because whether you like it or not, 12 and 13, the capacity, the brain capacity to understand what is happening, it's understand because you're like, this adult is doing something to me. My mind is like, okay, my body is responding in a way that feels good, but then I'm looking like this is not right. So it's a conflicting, it's not, and it doesn't do you any good. And stigmatizing men who go to therapy, because these things happen in childhood. We don't really talk about men like that, what happened in their childhood, because so many people accept that little boys are going to have sex with older women, and it's crazy. And just like Funky Dineva said, I'm gonna get back to the tears, because Funky Dineva said about the tears. Let me go back to that. Funky Dineva said that the only time you see somebody in our community crying is when they're having pain, or when they're in danger. I think that's what he said. Pain or in danger, but not just for any, you can't cry without reason, right? You have to either be in pain or in danger. I think he said it was in danger. I know he said it was in pain. So that idea that even in just him, that idea or aligning crying with, you can only cry anytime any other time you cry, that's not hell. You shouldn't be crying. You shouldn't show emotion. Why are you crying? Get a hold of yourself. That's not good. And they do it to little girls, and it's done to little boys. Right? Stop crying. You'll be all right. Stop crying. Now, some little girls are comforted when they're crying, but some are like, no, you don't need to cry. Stop crying. That ain't nothing to cry about. What you crying about? I used to cry all the time, and I used to always get, what are you crying about? You can't control that. What are you crying about? Can I just cry? Can I just be sad? Can I allow me to be sad about what happened? Let me cry. Stop telling me stop crying. Stop telling people to stop crying. Stop telling people to stop crying, because that's your body's way of releasing. So stop telling people to hold in emotions, because it's unhealthy, and like she said on the pink pill, it redistributes in other ways. Addiction, overeating, sex addiction, all of this stuff is like, allow people to express their emotions, right? Overeating, health issues, dealing with toxic relationships. Let people express their emotions. Now back to people being able to what was my thought? Okay, I went from crying to boys to children being able to stigmatizing. I'm trying to get all my thoughts together. Stigmatizing men going to therapy. And I was talking to Craig. Yes, I was talking to Craig, and I said, it's sad because at that age you're stunted, and then you don't understand what's wrong with you. And then when you get older, and then you are able to you have the means to access therapy to help you get over that. Now you're being told you don't need therapy. Here's some Hennessy. Here's some weed. Here's some pussy. You know what I'm saying? You don't need therapy. Just do it like this. And because therapy is now considered weak, right? Well, we're getting past that. Slowly but surely, we're getting past that, because so many people, and I'm glad so many Black people are talking about therapy and being in therapy. It did wonders for me. It did wonders for me. It helped me see things differently. It helped me understand how I was approaching things and why I was approaching things the way I was approaching them, and how to find the root of that and then heal that, so that when that happens, I don't respond in the way that isn't beneficial for me, right? Or doesn't serve me, baby. Therapy, honey, if you have access, if you are able to find you a therapist, please. If you are able to, please look into it. Please, if this was somebody's confirmation today, yes, therapy, go. If you were thinking about it, I was thinking about it, go. Just go. And I was saying, now, because now for men, you can't even go to therapy, because that's gay. That's gay. You gay. You weak. You this and that, all of these things, and like I posted on my IG, patriarchy. It not only harms women, but it really harms men, because when it's time for men to be nurtured and comforted and being able to express their emotions, now they're told their emotions are equating to femininity or weakness, and weakness is aligned with femininity in so many ways. Just like Chi was on there on Madison's platform the other day, talking about how he was always fighting because they thought he was weak because he was feminine. And so he was always fighting people. And it's like so many things that we just have to speak differently. We have to continue to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Continue to be unapologetic in expressing ourselves. Like some guy was on I can always tell when the bitter Black man who sits in the unattended seat in the barbershop, whose hand is ashy right in here, and he's always talking shit about women and saying the most vile things and giving the most ignorant ass advice in the barbershop, I can always tell when they find one of my videos. I can always tell when they find one of my videos, because they go to shaming me for expressing emotion, calling me fat, doing all of these things to try to keep me from expressing myself. But guess what? This is my shit. I can say what I want to say. You're not going to shut me up. And the words that you have been taught to use against women don't work on me. So I don't know what you're going to do, honey. I don't know what you're going to do. And they get mad because with somebody like me talking like this, somebody's going to hear it. And somebody's going to be like, you know what? Oh my God. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to refer to myself like this. I don't have to put somebody else before me. I can serve myself first. I can make decisions that serve me first so that I'm okay, so that if I do have children, I can take care of them, but nobody else. I serve me first. Serve yourself. And people are giving you, trying to encourage you to make decisions that don't serve you first. They ain't for you. Nobody should ever give you any advice that serves somebody over you, ever. And if they do, walk away from them. Walk away from them. Run away from them, okay? I could always tell. Let me see if I could find one of these comments. And they said, one was this morning, black women have issues. Girl, so do you. And your issue is worrying about black women when y'all need to be talking to yourselves. Y'all need to be talking to yourselves, because when a cop shoots your ass in the middle of your face and blows your damn wig back, you looking to black women to stand up for you and gay people to stand up for you. But y'all on your own. Y'all are on your own. Period. You don't need nothing. Y'all got each other's backs. So when Billy, Jerome, Tyrone, or whomever gets shot in the back, first tased and then shot 13 times, y'all stand up. Y'all stand up for him. Y'all have issues because you worried about black women too much. Worry about your goddamn selves. Get your shit together. Get your shit together. Child, these comments be crazy. Baby, I used to get, sometimes I'll get down in the comments with you. Sometimes I will. I can't remember where that comment was. Maybe I deleted it. I always have to go back to the video, the one that's called Bitter Black Woman. Baby, they get on there. They get on that video and they really get besides themselves. Oh, hear this. This guy told me this. Look, I listened to this. I have a video called Bitter Black Woman Bashing Black Men, #divest 2020. Look at these comments. They be so mad. They be so mad because they can't shut this big mouth woman up. Y'all need to stay mad. Stay mad, girl. I just listened to this again. You done listened to this twice? Okay. And you is a Satanist. You telling black women that the men made for them is wrong. You confused. That was John Cena. And of course, he don't have a face. I said, you like to call it confused when women become aware and speak out to the fact that you and your group have no code of ethics or conduct, and you have no consequences. That's why you don't know how to respond when a woman speaks against what you've grown and adapted as your standard mode of operation. I'd rather worship a fallen angel than a broke down nigga with no face who suffers from toxic masculinity. Now off with your head. Don't fuck with me. I'm a queen and I'll cut your goddamn head off. I'm one of those queens, okay? I'm not one of those queens. I'm one of those queens. I'll cut your goddamn head off. Fuck with me, okay? And you don't want to get in these comments like she really is saying we destructive and disrespectful, but just refer to the LGBT community as gay folk. I guess he thought that was disrespectful. How is that, girl? But it's probably when we use the word hoe, though. It's a two-way street, dude. I just told him he needs some milk. They be mad. I bet you support black men becoming transgender. Black men are right to stop dealing with black women. Your insecurity and bitterness has made relationships in the black community damn near impossible. But your name is Cynical Skeptic, girl. They be mad. They be mad at the diva. They be mad. Y'all just stay mad. They mad. They was on that Steven Jackson video too. They come. I can always tell when the no taps get a hold of my shit. Anyways, y'all. So what else is going on? Yeah, the thing with Boosie. Yeah, that's what Craig and I was talking about. How, you know, just the idea. Let me read you what some of his comments were. I'm gonna read you. Shout out to Craig. Let's see. He had some good things to say about it. Okay, here. Because I said, can you imagine trying to have a healthy relationship with a man who, unbeknownst to you, his father allowed him to be raped by a grown woman at 12 and 13 years old, and you can't figure out what's wrong with him or your relationship? He said, then imagine that man having no idea that anything is even wrong with him, let alone what that something wrong is. Now extrapolate that but a slice of already set of black people, and extrapolate that again by generation. The road to victory will not be an easy one. And then I said he doesn't even know why he has issues with intimacy or just relating to adult women, because his emotional intelligence was stunted at the age he was forced to become a man. It's wild when you think about it, but let's not forget, y'all aren't encouraged to seek help because that's gay too. And it's just like a never-ending cycle. And then when you hold people accountable who are in such a whirlwind of trauma, now they don't know how to respond, right? Now the person who is holding me accountable for my behavior is now bitter. You're bitter. You're miserable because you're telling me that I am toxic. You're telling me that my ideologies are toxic, so you're bitter and you're miserable. Honey, you need to go down to the looking at therapyforblackgirls.com, look in there and get yourself some help. Hopefully you have insurance and you're not on some woman's insurance, and, you know, hopefully you, hopefully you have your own insurance and you can go find you a therapist. You know what I'm saying? Something else to say. Let me find his, oh, here we go. Oh, wait. No, that was the same thing. Oh, what happened? What happened? I don't know what happened, girl. What happened, girl? And then, like, oh, then Funky Dot even said, you know, had it been a girl, this is what he said, and I thought, I was like, no, had it been a girl with this Boosie thing, all the genders been reversed, and it was a father or a mother having a man come and turn her daughter into a woman by having somebody sexually assault her, that everybody would be, and I think I said it too, I think everybody would be upset if it was the other way around, but that's not true. It's not true, because little black girls are abused every single day, and they're either told they're lying, they're told to be quiet, or they're kicked out. And then they told that they're fast. So we cannot say that if it was the other way around, because a lot of little black girls are getting abused and have been abused, and nobody said anything. Nobody helped them. Look at all of the girls who were being abused by Robert Kelly. And you think that that's just a small amount of girls who are being abused. There's so many of the girls being abused. Somebody told me the other day that a woman, 17-year-old girl was she had only been gone 2 days, but she had been moved into some type of trafficking situation. Another girl bringing her into a house, and then them not being able to leave the house, and being given drugs, and then them allowing men to come in there and have their way with these girls. And when you tell them these girls are missing, nobody cares. So you can't say that if it was the other way around that we would be up in arms for the girls. No, the girls are left unprotected in the same way. How many little girls have gone to their moms and said that their boyfriends have done something to them and their mothers blame them and kick them out and keep the man? So you cannot say that, right? You cannot say that. Now, it's sad. It's really, really sad when you think about it. And I think that the way that we speak about things has to change, right? We should allow people to express emotion. We should promote and encourage therapy. We should listen to children. We should hold people accountable for violent behavior. Nobody should, well, so-and-so, like, comparing, like, well, I'll use R. Kelly as an example, comparing him to Harvey Weinstein and saying, well, nobody's doing nothing to Harvey Weinstein. That's fine and okay. But we're talking about there is a predator in our community, and he's going through being violent to our little girls and women and young women, right? Going through. We worried about him, removing him. We're not worried about what's going on over there. We worried about what's moving through our community. Some man who's being violent and abusing women, and no one is doing anything about it. And you don't want anybody to do anything about it unless we hold some white man equally accountable. We're not worried about that. We're worried about the men who are going through our community, the men and women, because it's not just men. There's a lot of nasty ass, dirty ass, trashy ass women like Carly Red, who you want people to believe that Mo was going upside your head, but you don't believe the girl that he actually defrauded her family, and then believe him when he tells you that he's known the girl since she was 16. But you believe him. You believe the same man that was beating you and who is now being investigated by the feds and been arrested by the feds for getting people out of $2 million. It's women like that question somebody's story and believe a man over a girl who's telling you this person abused me. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the men, baby. And what I'm telling you, hold people accountable. Those are things that we have to do. Use different language when we speak, right? I'm going to say it again. Speak differently. We got to unlearn these things. Don't allow people to silence you. You can be a big mouth, But when that mouth is going, say something. Say something, okay? Somebody, and you don't have to touch everybody. If you just touch one person, your mission is accomplished. One person that you can touch and be like, and the light goes on for them. So whatever situation that they're in, or whatever way they're approaching a situation or something that's happened to them, they can change it. One person. So don't think that having conversations or expression, don't let people, I know if you on Facebook or whatever the hell, and you make a statement and people get in your comments telling you to be quiet and silence you, remove those people. It's nothing. Shut your mouth. I can shut you up right now. You ain't saying nothing, but you trying to silence me. You ain't saying nothing, but you trying to silence me. So shut up and I'm going to remove you. Period. Period, poo. And that's all I got to say today. I'm out of here. Y'all have a wonderful day. Take care of each other. I hope that you are protecting your energy, having some time to yourself so that you can recenter and go within and have some time with yourself. Like I said, use different language, right? It's okay. It's okay to express yourself. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be vulnerable. I had to unlearn that too. I had to unlearn that too. Trust me. And it's hard and it's difficult. It's hard and it's difficult. But the more that you do it, it gets easier. It gets easier. And I'm not telling you to be vulnerable with everybody. Use discernment. Don't be so open-minded that your damn brain falls out. Okay? Okay? Make sure that you are choosing the right people to be vulnerable with. And if it's just being vulnerable with yourself and just being honest and writing things down in your journal and being honest from your real self, not your ideal self, from your real self. Write things down. If you can't talk to anybody, if you don't have a way to talk to anybody, write it down. Talk to the universe, honey. Spill it to the universe. All right? Protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. I hope this wasn't too bad, but And shout out to the men with the ashy hand webbing right here. Shout out to y'all. Get some lotion, some shea butter, and rub that right on in here, okay? All right, y'all. Take care of each other. Peace.